Solange Piaget Knowles is an American singer, songwriter, and model. Knowles was born in Houston, Texas to Mathew and Tina Knowles, both of whom left their careers to support her older sister Beyoncé copywriter's recording interests. Expressing an interest in music from an early age, Knowles had several temporary stints in Destiny's Child, before signing with her father's Music World Entertainment label. Aged 16, Knowles released her first studio album Solo Star to moderate commercial and critical success. In 2004, Knowles married Daniel Smith, eventually giving birth to their son Daniel Julez J. Smith Jr., which prompted a move to Idaho. Between 2005 and 2007, Knowles had several minor acting roles, including the direct-to-video Bring It On, All or Nothing, and continued writing music for Beyoncé copyright and ex-Destiny Child band members Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams. In 2007, Knowles divorced Smith and moved to Los Angeles, California, beginning to write and record music again. Her second studio album Soul Angel and the Hadley St Dreams deviated from the pop-oriented music of her debut to the Motown sound of the 1960s and 70s. It peaked at number 9 on the Billboard 200 and received positive reviews from critics. She followed this up with the 1980s pop R&B-inspired extended play True and intends to release her third studio album in 2014, on her own label Saint Records. Knowles is heavily influenced by Motown girl groups and says that her first passion is songwriting. She had been recognized as a fashion icon and has received frequent comparisons to sister Beyoncé copyright from the media, although insists they have different aspirations and are musically different. Her other ventures include an endorsement deal with Rimmel London and a line of hip-hop-oriented merchandise for young children, which was inspired by her son. Early life: Knowles was born in Houston, Texas, to Mathew Knowles and Tina Knowles. Solange's elder sister is singer Beyoncé copyright. Her father is African American. Her father is originally from Alabama and her mother is Creole, originally from South Louisiana. Her mother's culture is Louisiana Creole, African, French, and Native American, not to be confused with Haitian Creoles. Her maternal grandparents are Loomis Beyoncé copyright and Agna copyright Zedira copyright on. She is also a descendant of Acadian leader Joseph Broussard. As a child, Knowles studied dance and theater. At the age of 5, she made her singing debut at an amusement park. She began writing songs at the age of 9. At 13, she decided to pursue recording, but her parents initially advised her to wait. At the age of 15, Knowles replaced a departed dancer and performed with her sister's group Destiny's Child on tour. During the group's opening stint for American pop singer Christina Aguilera's tour, Knowles temporarily replaced Destiny's Child member Kelly Rowland after Kelly broke her toes backstage during a costume change. When Knowles was 16, her father, who was then also her manager, signed her to his recording company, Music World Entertainment, along with Columbia. Career: 2001 €03, early career and solo star, managed by her father Mathew. Knowles' first foray into the music business was in 2001 as the lead singer, backed with Destiny's Child, on the title theme song for the animated television series The Proud Family. She also was a featured performer on Hey Goldmember for the soundtrack to the 2002 film Austin Powers and Goldmember, as well as a backup singer on the track Little Drummer Boy on her sister's group's 2001 holiday album 8 Days of Christmas. In 2002, she was featured on Lil Romeo's second studio album Game Time, singing portions of Luther Vandross' Pen's So Amazing on the single True Love, and on Rowland's debut solo album Simply Deep, for which she also wrote the title track and Alone. In 2001 she also appeared as Lil Bow Wow's date in the music video for his single Puppy Love. She also made an appearance on the Master of Disguise soundtrack and made cameos in Play's video for Master featuring Lil Fizz. In 2002, she lent her voice for the character Chanel, the cousin of the protagonist Penny Proud, in the episode Behind Family Lines to the animated television series The Proud Family. In June 2003, Mathew Knowles excitedly announced that he was considering adding Solange to Destiny's Child when the group reunited in 2004, thus turning them into a quartet for the first time since short-lived member Farrah Franklin left in 2000. Mathew Knowles said he was testing the reactions, and, judging by what he had heard, it seems like a good idea. Later in August, however, Beyoncé Copyright said it was only a rumor and Destiny's Child would remain a trio. Rowland added, "She's a solo star," name-dropping Knowles' debut album. At the age of 14, Solange Knowles started working on her debut album Solo Star, which involved American producers such as Jermaine Dupri, The Neptunes, Linda Perry and Timbaland among others. The album is primarily up-tempo R&B, although Knowles said there are pop, rock, reggae and hip-hop influences. Knowles co-wrote and co-produced some of the 15 tracks in the album, including its lead single, Feelin' You. The song failed to enter the Billboard Hot 100, but reached number 3 on both the Hot R&B Hip-Hop Singles Sales and Hot Dance Singles Sales chart. Solo Star was released on January 21, 2003 in the United States, where it debuted at number 49 on the Billboard 200 and reached number 23 on the Top R&B Hip-Hop Albums chart. Solo Star had a mixed critical reception. William Ullman of AllMusic called it a state-of-the-art contemporary R&B album, but deemed Knowles lost somewhere in the mix. By mid-2008, the album had sold 112,000 copies domestically according to Nielsen SoundScan. 2004-08, Films and Soul Angel and the Hadley St. Dreams. In 2004, she guest-starred in the episode The Catch in the sitcom One-on-One. Knowles appeared as a nubile teenager in the 2004 comedy film Johnson Family Vacation, starring alongside American actors Cedric the Entertainer, Vanessa Williams and Bow Wow. She provided a song for its soundtrack A Freedom, a collaboration with the Houston-based funk jazz band Drop Trio. Although the reviews were generally negative, Knowles earned praise from Variety magazine. Solange Knowles is nearly as dazzling as big sister Beyoncé Copyright and does little more than smile winningly in her first big-screen outing. In 2006, she starred as a cheerleading captain in the film Bring It On, All or Nothing, the third installment of the Bring It On series, alongside American actress and singer Hayden Panettiere. What little critical reaction the low-budget, direct-to-DVD movie got was negative, and Knowles was described as an affordable young starlet. Knowles uses her full name for her acting, rather than just the first name she uses when singing. For Bring It On, All or Nothing, she was billed as Solange Knowles Smith, reflecting her married state at the time. After the release of her debut album, Knowles started acting in films followed by a career break. While she was married, her family moved to Idaho, and, while staying there, resumed writing songs including the singles Get Me Bodied and Upgrade You off her sister's second solo album, Day. Knowles earned the R&B and hip-hop song accolade for Get Me Bodied at the 2008 ASCAP Awards. She had also written songs for Destiny's Child, and members Rowland and Michelle Williams. In 2004, while pregnant with son Daniel, she made a cameo appearance in Destiny's Child's music video for Soldier. After the divorce, Knowles returned to Houston to begin working on her second album. Knowles renewed her management, signing a record deal with Geffen and a publishing deal with EMI. Knowles finished working on her second studio album in 2008 and titled the project Soul Angel and the Hadley St. Dreams. It includes production by CeeLo Green, Sal Shock and Carlin and Mark Ronson as well as an appearance by Bilal. A collection of 1960s and 1970s influenced songs, it is seen as a departure from her pop-oriented debut, with what Billboard magazine called more of a modern twist on hip-hop and R&B flecked with tinges of blues and jazz. The album was released on August 26, 2008 in the United States. By December 2008, the album had sold over 114,000 copies according to Nielsen SoundScan. The album was positively received by critics, some of whom considered it far better than her debut. The album's lead single, I Decided, was released in April 2008, and reached a top of the Billboard Hot Dance Club Play. Rolling Stone magazine labeled it her breakthrough single. In support of the album, Knowles began the Solange Presents Soul Angel and the Hadley St. Dreams tour in Britain in November 2008. Knowles announced, via her blog hadleystreetjournal.com, that she will be releasing a series of mixtapes, to coincide with the album. The first mixtape, I Can't Get Clearance, includes the leaked track Fuck the Industry. On this record, Knowles expresses her views on the current state of the music industry. The lyrics to the song name-check some major artists such as Mary J. Blige, Ashanti, Keisha Cole, and Beyoncé. Copyright, although she made a point of stating that it does not have a negative light to any of them. The mixtape was never released, but Solange released Fuck the Industry as a single in 2010. 2009 A Euro-Present, True EP, Saint records an upcoming third studio album. In an interview with MTV in 2009, Knowles revealed that she was determining the type of sound for the follow-up to Soul Angel and the Hadley St. Dreams. Knowles also parted ways with the Interscope G4A&M record label group. She would now release her third studio album independently. Early in 2010, Knowles traveled to Australia to work with Australian rock band, Midnight Juggernauts on her third studio album. Knowles plans to release the album in summer as revealed on her official Twitter account in 2009. She also revealed on her Twitter account that she rented a house in Santa Barbara, California to get into a certain state of mind while writing and making music. On May 7, 2010, Knowles made a guest appearance on the popular children's show, Yo Gabba Gabba, for a Mother's Day special, where she performed an original song called, Mama Loves Baby. In an interview with Vibe on July 7, 2010, Knowles said she suffered a little bit of a breakdown while recording her new album. I literally gave up my sanity for a while to do this record. We literally were waking up in the morning and just making music all day and all night. It just started to wear on me in so many different ways. I started having these crazy panic attacks. Knowles explained how she made sacrifices mentally, emotionally and financially, and continued, Euro unregistered trademark S more than an album to me. Euro unregistered trademark S a transitional time in my life. Regarding the musical direction of the album, she said the inspiration came from New Wave and stated, this is a dance record, but the lyrics can get pretty dark at times. The singer has also worked on songs with Chromeo and longtime collaborator Pharrell. In September 2012, Solange released a teaser video for Losing You, the upcoming single from her third album. This release marks Solange's first release as a signee of the independent label Terrible Records. The video was shot in Cape Town, South Africa around early September 2012. Knowles revealed in an interview that her mother Tina Knowles had paid for Solange and her friends to fly out and record the video, as her birthday gift. On October 24, 2012, Knowles held a listening party in New York City for her EP True, set to be released for digital download on iTunes November 27, 2012. The CD and vinyl has been made available January 8, 2013. Following the EP's release, Solange appeared on the cover of the Fader magazine's 84th issue. On May 14, 2013, Knowles announced that she launched her own record label named Saint Records, which she will be using to release her third full-length album and future music projects distributed through Sony. Solange also collaborated with The Lonely Island on the song Semicolon, which was featured as part of YouTube's Comedy Week and is featured on The Lonely Island's album, The Whack Album. On November 11, 2013, Knowles' record label released its first compilation album, Saint Heron. In April 2014, Beyoncé copyright surprisingly showed up while Solange performed Losing You at Coachella and they danced on stage. Artistry, music and influences. Knowles cites as her influences Motown girl groups such as the Supremes and the Marvelettes, and Martha Reeves, lead singer of Martha and the Vandellas. She also listened to the music of English pop singer Dusty Springfield, and according to Knowles, her greatest music influence is her mother, Tina Knowles, who was a one-time member of the 1960s harmony group the Veltones. Knowles says her first passion is writing songs. Her early writings were vastly inspired by the writing style of French poet Paul Verlaine. She has been doing this since she was 9 years old, and has collaborated with a number of songwriters and producers. On her debut album, Knowles had no control over which kinds of music to produce, because, when you're 14, everyone else is older and more seasoned and you trust their decisions. Knowles was more concerned with pleasing her record label by submitting to their desires. Her musical influences were better expressed on Solange and the Hadley St Dreams, when she considered herself mature and was able to write and produce songs as she wished, without worrying about the expectations of others. Knowles' lyrics tackle relationships, world issues, and deceased friends, with her second album focusing on events in her life, such as marriage, divorce, and parenthood. The album touched upon a variety of genres including pop soul, psychedelic soul, electronica, R&B. Knowles' debut extended play True is a new wave album, with Knowles stating, "This is a dance record, but the lyrics can get pretty dark at times." Knowles described the EP as eclectic with 80s references and African percussion influences. Sonically, the extended play is influenced by the keyboard sounds and beats of early 80s pop R&B music. The extended play was recorded in 5 cities including Santa Barbara, LA, Houston, NYC, and on the German Autobahn. Aside from recording, Knowles occasionally paints as her hobby. "I think that painting, for me, is such an affirmative expression in that sometimes you don't know what the outcome is gonna be, and each stroke and each brush for me is an emotion, and, in the end, it comes out as a piece, which is the most amazing thing. It definitely provides a different outlet." Public image. Knowles has always been compared by the media to her sister, Beyoncé Copyright, whom she considers one of her role models. She has expressed her opinion of the comparison in the lyrics to "God-Given Name I'm Not Her and Never Will Be a Euro," which was purposely set as the album's opening track to show their differences. In his review for the album, Jody Rosen of Rolling Stone magazine referred to the lyrics a declaration of independence. In an interview with the Daily Mail, Knowles commented, "People think there should be this great rivalry between us, but there's never been any competition. There's a big age gap and we are two very different characters." In another interview, Knowles said that she would not live by her sister's level of stardom, stressing that she and Beyoncé Copyright are artistically different, even stating that blogger Teddy Birmingham was disrespectful for saying she was living in her sister's shadow on his website Teddy Talks in June 2009. Beyoncé Copyright was unwilling to bring her sister into the recording industry, reasoning that it involves a lot of pressure. Knowles countered by saying, "It's good to have her advice, but we really have different goals." In recent years, Solange has also garnered considerable attention as a fashion icon. Her knack for bold colors, mixed prints and retro styles, as well as her knack for glamorous, fashion-forward looks in her music videography and public appearances, has become integral to her current image. She has been photographed wearing Alexander Wang, Alexander McQueen and Chanel. The music video for her 2012 single Losing You featured a heavy demonstration of the contemporary sartorial movement throughout Africa, La Sape. Similarly, her decision to grow her natural hair initially generated strong reactions from the public. Since trimming off her straightened hair, her nostalgic and modern Afro hairstyles have captured the attention of the media and the public alike. Other ventures. Knowles has been promoting Baby Jams, a hip-hop-style toy line for preschoolers. It was inspired by her son, Julez, who is fond of hip-hop music. She is the executive producer of the CD, composed of updated hip-hop-inspired nursery rhymes, which is featured in all of the toys. Also, Knowles has been known for her work in the award-winning children's TV show, Yo Gabba Gabba. She performed Mama Loves Baby during the live performance when it toured the Dallas-Fort Worth area. She also performed Mama Loves Baby during a 2010 episode called Baby. In 2011, Knowles, along with Alejandra Ramos Munoz and Zooey Deschanel, was announced as the new face of Rimmel London. In February 2012, Solange became Vogue.com's Today I'm Wearing guest blogger, sharing a photograph of her outfits daily for 1 month. House of Dira copyright on, Knowles and sister Beyoncé copyright model for their family's clothing line, House of Dira copyright on, named after their grandmother, Agna copyright Z Dira copyright on. She also helped launch Dira copyright on, a junior apparel collection and a sister line to House of Dira copyright on. Both sisters model for Dira copyright on, and are featured in most of Dira copyright on's marketing campaigns. Together they were featured in a Got Milk campaign ad, while still wearing House of Dira copyright on. In 2008, Knowles was named as ambassador for Giorgio Armani's younger diffusion line, Armani Jeans. Armani said Knowles epitomizes the style, which is a vision of a young, independent, casual lifestyle with a strong and cool, fashion sensibility. Personal life: Knowles married Daniel Smith in February 2004 when she was 17 and he was 19. On October 18, 2004, Knowles gave birth to their son, Daniel Julez J. Smith, Jr. Knowles has partly expressed regret that she bore a child at an early age, but calls her son the greatest unplanned blessing. A song she wrote for her baby, 6 O'Clock Blues, was included on Solange and the Hadley St. Dreams. After Daniel Julez's birth, the family moved to Moscow, Idaho, where Knowles' husband continued studying in college. In October 2007, Solange confirmed in an interview with Essence magazine that she and Smith had divorced. They co-parent the child. After the divorce, Knowles and her child moved to Los Angeles, California, where they established their new home. In August 2013, Knowles announced that she and her son were moving to New Orleans, Louisiana. May 19, 2014, Beyoncé and Jay-Z were visiting Knowles and her son in New Orleans, without security. On May 12, 2014, TMZ released security video footage of Solange physically assaulting brother-in-law Jay-Z and being restrained by a security guard in an elevator at the Standard, High Line in Manhattan, following the 2014 Met Gala. Jay-Z remained passive and did not retaliate, while Solange's sister Beyoncé Copyright, who was also present, did not react to either party throughout the altercation. The footage and story has since gone viral, however the reason for the altercation remains unknown. Discography: Solo star, Solange and the Hadley St. Dreams, tours, headlining, 2003, Solo Star Tour, 2008, The Art of Love Tour, 2008, Solange presents Solange and the Hadley St. Dreams Tour, 2012, True Promo Tour, Supporting, 2004, Simply Deeper Tour, Filmography, Awards and Nominations, References. External links: Official website.